Welcome to SDMES Boys English Medium School, Standard 8, Subject Science, Chapter number 13, Sound. In previous lecture, we have discussed about 13.1. Sound is produced by a vibrating body. In that, we have discussed 13.1, 13.2, and 13.3. This activity you can do at your home also. Now come to 13.2, sound produced by human. In this topic, we have discussed that there is a voice box or larynx, which is the swollen part of our throat. By that, we produce sound. Now, in 13.4, we will discuss in today's lecture, we will discuss 13.4. We hear sound through our ears. The shape of the outer part of the ear is like a funnel. In this figure, you can see that the outer part of the ear is like a funnel. Now, when sound enters it, it travels down a canal at the end of which there is a thin stretched membrane. It is called ear drum. Okay, you can watch here that this is a funnel like structure, and when sound enters this funnel like structure, this goes and travel to this structure. This structure is called ear drum. Okay, this is a small patch like structure which is called eardrum. Now it performs an important function. To understand what the eardrum does, let us build a thin can model of an eardrum. Now come to activity 13.10. Take a plastic or tin can, cut its end, stretch a piece of rubber balloons across one end of the can and fasten it with a rubber band. Put 4 or 5 grains of dry cereal on the stretched rubber. Now ask your friend to speak hooray from the open end. Observe what happened to the gram. Why do the grains jump up and down? Now, okay, let me continue. In activity 13.10, क्या करना है? First, you have to take a tin can. Now cut its end. Now stretch a piece of rubber balloon across one end. मतलब एक end पे क्या करना है? बलून रबर बलून लगाना है. उसके बाद उसके ऊपर कुछ पीस ऑफ सेरल्स रखने हैं. नाउ नीचे से कुछ आवाज लगानी. आवाज लगाने से क्या होगा कि जो सेरल्स उसके ऊपर बलून के ऊपर रखे हुए हैं वो कुछ सेरल्स जो है वो ऊपर अप एंड डाउन होंगे. ओके. नाउ कंक्लूजन इज दैट द ईयर ड्रम इज like a stretched rubber sheet. Sound vibrations make the eardrum vibrate. जो up and down movement है, this is called vibration. Okay, the eardrum sends vibrations to the inner ear. From there, the signal goes to the brain. That is how we hear. Now, this is the structure of ear. In this is the funnel-like structure. After that, there is a yellow-colored part. You can see over here. Now, this yellow color part is a thin membrane which is called eardrum, which acts like a balloon in our activity, and it vibrates when sound enters in it, and this gives signals to directly inner ear, and inner ear gives signals to brain. That's how we hear. Now 13.5 amplitude, time period and frequency of vibration. We have learned that the to and fro motion of an object is known as vibration. Now there is given vibrations definition. Motion. To and fro motion of an object is known as vibration. This motion is also called oscillatory motion. So there is two questions. To and fro motion of an object is known as vibration. Vibration की definition is given. This motion is also called ऑसिलेटरी मोशन, मतलब दो क्वेश्चन एक में ही आ रहे हैं, तो आप ये दोनों के क्वेश्चन के आंसर इसमें से मिल जाएंगे. दिस क्वेश्चंस आर गिवन इन वर्कबुक ऑल्सो. नाउ the number of oscillations per second is called the frequency of oscillation. Now मतलब एक सेकंड के अंदर कितने ऑसिलेशंस परफॉर्म होंगे उसको बोलेंगे फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑसिलेशन. फ्रीक्वेंसी इज एक्सप्रेस्ड इन हर्ट्ज. फ्रीक्वेंसी को किस तरीके से एक्सप्रेस करना है, तो हर्ट्ज में एक्सप्रेस करना है. नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय हर्ट्ज? जैसे कि वेट जो है वो किलोग्राम में हम मेजर करते हैं, वैसे ही जो लिक्विड चीज होगी वो ml में होगी. तो इसी तरीके से फ्रीक्वेंसी को किस चीज में मेजर करते हैं, हर्ट्ज में मेजर करते हैं. ओके, और उसका सिंबल जो है वो एच जेड है. ओके, एच जेड इज गिवन हियर. नाउ जैसे कि किलोग्राम का सिंबल के जी होता है, वैसे ही हर्ट्ज का जो सिंबल है वो एच जेड है. ओके, नाउ अ फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ वन एच जेड इज वन ऑसिलेशन पर सेकेंड. इट मीन्स दैट व्हेन अ bob oscillate per second one time, it is called a frequency of 1 hz in 1 second per second. If an object oscillates 20 times in 1 second, would be its frequency? So its frequency will be 20 hertz per second, because in frequency's definition it is given that the number of oscillations per second is called the frequency of oscillation. Now, amplitude and frequency are two important properties of any sound. Okay, in workbook we have written that in a question, what are the main properties of sound? So, two properties of sound is given: amplitude and frequency. Okay. Now, loudness and pitch. In activity 13.11, take a metallic tumbler and a tablespoon. Strike the tablespoon gently at the brim of the tumbler. Now, what do you observe? You have to write down in your notebooks. Now, loudness of sound is proportional to the square of amplitude of vibration producing the sound. In this, thus loudness is in the unit of decibel. Decibel is unit of loudness. Loudness का मीनिंग होता है कितना जोर से आवाज आ रहा है, उसको हम बोलेंगे loudness. इसका यूनिट जो है वो है डेसिबल. जैसे कि फ्रीक्वेंसी का यूनिट था हर्ट्ज. ओके, वेट का यूनिट होता है किलोग्राम. वैसे ही लाउडनेस का जो यूनिट है वो है 10 सॉरी डेसिबल. ओके, इसके अंदर कुछ यूनिट्स मेजर किए हुए हैं. नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग जो है, नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग का जो लाउडनेस है वो कितना होता है, 10 डेसिबल होता है. सॉफ्ट विस्पर का लाउडनेस है वो 30 डेसिबल होगा. और नॉर्मल कन्वर्जेशन जो है इट विल बी 60 डेसिबल. एंड बिजी ट्रैफिक इज 70 डेसिबल एंड एवरेज फैक्ट्री इज 80 decibel. Now, above 80 decibel, the noise becomes physically painful. मतलब 80 decibel से ज़्यादा अगर साउंड होगा या वो लाउडनेस होगा तो it will become noise. Now, the frequency determines the shrillness or pitch of a sound. Now, 13.6, audible and inaudible sounds. We know that we need a vibrating body for the production of sound. A man can hear 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz vibrations per second. This is range for human ear. Less than 20 hertz you can't hear, and more than 20 hertz we can't hear. Some of the animals can hear less than 20 hertz also. Now, some definitions of noise and music is given. Unpleasant sound are called noise. Now, what do you mean by unpleasant sound? When you are in traffic, there is lot of sound which is coming from the surrounding area. That sound we don't like. The sounds we don't like is called noise. मतलब कि ऐसे sounds जो हमको पसंद नहीं होते, जो unpleasant होते हैं, वो sound को हम बोलते हैं noise. Okay. Now, the sounds which we enjoy is called musical sound. It is produced by musical instruments, and we can enjoy these sounds. So this is called musical sounds. Now the last point is noise pollution. What do you mean by noise pollution? In noise pollution, there is many type of sources are there. When you are hearing TV at loud volume, and there is a factory, if in a residential area, the desert coolers, kitchen appliances, air conditioners, all contribute to noise pollution. Okay. And what are the harms of noises? In harm of noises, we have written also in our textbook and workbook. In workbook, we have uh, a question: which type of harmful effects are there on human body? So in human body, we have the health related problems: lack of sleeps, hypertension, anxiety, and many more health disorders may be caused by noise pollution. A person who is exposed to a loud sound continuously may get temporary or even permanent impairment of hearing. It means that कि अगर कोई एक पर्सन है जो कंटिन्यूसली एक लाउड साउंड के कांटेक्ट में होता है, वो क्या करेगा? It will have deafness also, and it will have the impairment of hearing. Now measures to limit noise pollution. Now how we can solve this noise pollution problems? So we can install in aircraft engines the device which is called silencing device. Silencing device must be installed in aircraft engines, transport vehicles, industrial machines, and home appliances. Okay, all noisy operations must be conducted away from any residential area. Noise producing industries should be set up away from such areas. Use of automobile horns should be minimized. Okay, now there is some keywords: amplitude, eardrum, frequency, hertz, larynx, loudness, noise, oscillation, pitch, time period, vibration, voice box, and windpipe. These are some points which we have learnt in this chapter. You have to write these points in your notebook and complete exercise of this chapter in your notebook.